All right, so the first roll, of course, excuse me, the first roll, of course, is that we journey, right? We undertake a journey. So yeah, I suppose I could heal. I suppose I could heal before I go, but yeah, you know what? Let's make that part of the recovery. I don't know. I just don't want to complicate things further, but I definitely would have. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, Red. Let's start the journey, and then when we make camp, I'll be like, anybody know how to fix this? And I've done like a shit job. Yeah, and it'll be a nice scene between me and one of the girls, right? Where one of the girls can be like, how did you get a black eye? Like, what's your deal? Yeah, that's good. But let's start the journey first. So, the journey is separate from the quest itself. So now I have to go progress. So, journey to the font. And the journey itself is troublesome, but the quest is dangerous. Yes. Okay. All right. So, yeah, right. I have to go hang out with the so-and-so and what's her face and the ugly one. Yeah. Arrowed. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and roll plus wits here for a segment of my journey. And I'm setting out from a community which I have a bond, so I get a +1 on this one. Here we go. What? No! Why? Why, game? Why? Why are you doing this? Curse you, Sean Tompkin. Curse you! Okay, great. Swing and a miss. Good start with the Teen Girl Squad. Fantastic. All right. Ma'am, are we lost? Ma'am, I think we're lost. Ma'am, shut up, we're not lost. That's a tree, that's a blue fuck you tree, and we're going the right way. God damn it. Shut up, kids. Okay, so, roll, undertake a journey. And I got a miss, which means waylaid by a perilous event. Ah, hell. What is the perilous event, do you think? It's got to be something mundane, like a bear or something. Oh my God, is it her boyfriend? Oh God. Okay. Nope, that's better. I like that. That's good. Okay. All right. Undertake a journey. We miss. So it's like, an hour or so. We're out in the, we're out on the there's no woods. I think we're trekking up the hill, and we come to an old like way station, a little shrine where people would leave offerings. They're like a pile of polished pebbles, maybe an old, something that used to be a statue or something, but it's been worn down by hands, and it's got a little wooden like shelter. When we come out to it, I hear something, right? I hear some like scratching, and I put my hand out like back, ladies, I'll protect you. Oh my God, I'm Furiosa, and they're the brides. Yeah. Don't worry, ladies, I'll protect you. Spear. And, I think because I'm Nabake, I probably heft the spear, and I'm like, okay, this is like a bandit or like something. I'm gonna go stab it, and that'll do it. So I'm gonna sneak over there. I'm not gonna look at who it is because that would be too smart. I'm gonna sneak over there, and I'm just gonna jump out and be like, ah, and like lunge with my spear, and just like stab whatever's back there. So some kind of bandit or brigand was going to try and ambush us at the first way station, but I saw him hiding, and I jumped out with my spear to protect the hot nuns. Oh, I just put buns, of course. All right. So I'm trying to impress these nuns. I'm like, yeah, don't worry, ladies. I got it. Yeah! And I jump out, and I lunge with my spear, and... I don't even know. I don't even know what this roll is. Like just something bad happens. I'm not trying to hurt him. I'd try to like pull back if I noticed it was him. I think the danger is that I accidentally, it's precision, right? I think it's precision. So I jump out and I'm trying to be like, ha, and then I realize it's him, and the roll is to stop before I stab him to death. But if I succeed, I'm impressive and I scare him and I show off to the lady nuns. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Okay. All right. So let me do that. So roll. I love this game. It's so much fun. Face danger. You know, it'd be really fun. This would be a cool community thing to do. So make a wiki, right? And lay out the truths of a world. So do the truth stuff already, right? Lay all that out on a wiki, and then put in the map, and then let other people play solo games and detail different locations. So you could say like, okay, group A, your province 1, group B, your province 2, group 3, your province C. And so everybody's groups are like contributing to the wiki and building the world all together as a bunch of different people are playing. So like right now, 7 episodes in, we've really only detailed this one province, right? The Dead Coast. So as long as we were operating off the same truths, you could have like another group over here, yeah, building their thing, and everybody would drop pins in every time you update. Yeah. Totally. Very cool. Yeah, there's lots of really neat things you could do combining this and like some community stuff. Interesting. Anyway, where were we? We were rolling something. Right. Yes. Not stabbing the fuckboy. Okay. Face danger. Trying not to accidentally kill. What's her name? Nadia. Something. Nadira. Accidentally kill Nadira's boyfriend. Okay, here we go. Don't fuck it up. I got a +3. Come on. Arr. Seriously? My God, I am just rolling so bad. All right, well, I got a weak hit. It's not nothing. Weak hit. I guess I stab him a little bit. Okay. On a weak hit, you succeed but face a troublesome cost. Let's suffer supply fixing him. -1 supply. Okay, so here's what happens. I jump out. God damn it, I have to use my last fucking food on him. I jump out, like, yeah, and I stab him. And we hear from the other side of the bush, we hear a Wilhelm, like a, ah! And I'm like, oh, shit, fuck, get it, what the, hey, what are you doing back here? Damn it! And I grab him, and I drag him out, and I throw him into the road, and Nadira, here's what happens. So we cut to Nadira. Nadira makes a face like she's worried about him, right? She's like, oh no, he's hurt. And then she looks at, no, this is great. And she turns and looks at her friend Avella, and Avella gives her a look like, no, you don't care about this guy. And Nadira's like, oh, yeah. And now she looks down at him, and then what's her face? Macias, she just waves. She's like, hi, Tomas. But yeah, the two of them, and I'm shouting at this kid, and I'm doing that thing where like I hurt him and I don't want him to die. And so I'm like, but I'm projecting again. So I'm just yelling at him like, What were you thinking? You stupid kid. You can't just hide by I could have stabbed you in your face. You're so lucky I didn't stab you in the face. And he's just like blubbering and like, I don't want to die. And I'm like, God damn it. Somebody give me my bandages. And so one of the girls comes over, gets me the bandages. I bandage him up. Him and Nadira are gonna have like a moment where she's like, don't worry about me, I have to go. And he's like, but I love you. I want to see one of two things is gonna happen, right? Either Goat Boy and Nadira get their moment and Nadira thinks about him while she's going, or Avella interrupts and is like, no, Goat Boy sucks. You don't need him. And Nadira and Goat Boy break up before she leaves. I think it's 50-50 on which one. So let's roll a d6. 1 to 3, Avella convinces Nadira to break up with him. 4 to 6, she gets to say goodbye, and that might soften her up before we leave. Let's see. Nope. Okay. All right. So here's what happened. It was just some goat herd with a hard-on for Nadira who just about got his stupid ass stabbed to death. I bandaged him up. Boy, I am going to regret that later when I'm the one bleeding to death. I bandaged him up and sent him on his way. It looks like Avella and Nadira gave the poor kid the cold shoulder. Teenagers. Okay. All right. So, so he got stabbed, and then sent home. He got broken up with, and now Avella and Nadira are like joined at the hip evil twins now. That has dragged, that was the thing that made Nadira more hateful, more evil. That was dark side Nadira. If Goat Boy had won, she would have been like kind of sad, mopey Nadira, but instead we're going to get like evil mode where she's like, I broke up with that boy because he was ugly and he smelled like goat. The love is dead. Her humanity has been stamped out by Avella. So the two of them are going to be awful teenagers. But maybe Messias will be nice to us because she's too stupid to not be nice to us. Let's keep going. We're not stopped yet. No, did we missed on that? We didn't make any progress. Damn it. Okay. All right. So I get everybody together and I'm like, all right, ladies, out there, that's the wilderness. You know what there's out there in the wilderness? Bears and disease and violence and long falls. So if you want to survive out there, ladies, you got to listen to me because I was born in the wilderness. I am made out of ice. All right. I don't take shit from anybody, especially not a bunch of nun wannabes like you. So fall in line. Let's go. And we start out and we head out into the wilderness, right? I'm like, all right, ladies, let's go. Keep pace. And at one point, Messias is like, ma'am. And I stop. I'm like, yes, Messias, what is it? And she says, ma'am, I think we're being followed. I'm like, what? I grab my spear. By whom? And I start looking around and she points and standing behind a big dead tree is Kudan. He's like, there's this scraggly tree and he's like hiding behind it. And I look up and he looks at me and we look at each other and he just kind of like lifts up his trunk, like as if to be like, hey. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. All right, you can come, but stay away from the nuns. They're mine. And Kudan just rolls his eyes and lumbers after us. So off we go into the wilderness. So let's try to make some progress. Then we'll make camp and we'll heal. So time to undertake a journey. Let's do better this time. Here we go. Wits. Make it good. I'm never going to make any progress. Why? Okay, great. So, on a miss, you're waylaid by another perilous event. Stupid journeys. I hate them. All right, well, let me see. What is the perilous event now? Stupid kids. All right. Undertake a journey. Still can't do it. Maybe okay, one of the girls like stops. They just are tired. So like an hour and a half later, we are trekking through the kind of rolling rocky like hillside, and I look over my shoulder and I'm like, wait, 1, 2, Messias, Nadira, where's Avella? And Nadira, she shrugs. She's like, I think she had to pee. She had to pee? What? So you tell me if you have to stop. We don't just keep walking. How long ago was this? And Nadira shrugs. If she had gum in her mouth, if gum were a thing, she would pop it right now. And so I'm like, all right, where is she? And Nadira just points back that way. And I turn around and I start marching in that direction. And I'm like, Avella, get out here. And I see her and she's just sitting on a rock. She's got her like linen tunic and her little bag. And Avella's just sitting on a rock and she's crying. And I see her and I look behind me, and Nadira and Messias, they can't see me. And I'm like, okay. All right. Let's go talk to this kid and see what her problem is. So I head over and I walk up and I say, hey. And she sniffles and, tries to ignore me. And I kind of lean over. I'm like, hey, Nun. Yeah. And she like slowly looks up because I won't stop. Like, what do you want? I'm like, well, me and those other two chuckle fucks, we were gonna go to the haunted house. And so we were wondering if you wanted to come with us to the haunted house. Yeah. And she kind of like sniffles at me and she shakes her head and she says, I don't want to. I don't want to go. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't want to go? Well, you got your nun frock. You got your nun bag. You're having a good nun emotional breakdown. Just pack up all your stuff and let's go and get you crucified or whatever has to happen up there. And she shakes her head, and I want to see if I can figure out what is wrong with this kid. Like what is her deal? Why is she crying? So I think I want to gather information. Yeah, let's gather information. Hey, my first strong hit in what feels like fucking forever. So let me get caught up here and we'll see. All right, undertake a journey and miss. We were again waylaid by teenage emotional drama. I found Avella 100 meters behind us, crying on a rock. What the hell is her problem? We're just going up to the scary haunted house. so she can have her nun magic installed. I don't actually know what I'm doing. But apparently, and I look at her, I think what I realize, because I got my roll plus wits, right? I got my strong hit, something helpful and specific. She's scared. She's just scared. She's heard all these stories about what awful stuff is going to happen to her, and she doesn't want to go. I think that's what happens, right? So, let's see. I don't actually know what we're doing, but apparently it's scary enough that even Avella is frightened. Poor kid. So I think I kneel down and I'm like, okay, acknowledging that she's scared isn't gonna do it. Maybe I will pretend that I'm scared so she can make fun of me and she can get over her own fear. Like, if I'm scared and it's stupid, yeah. So I'm gonna pretend I'm really scared, and then she's gonna be shitty to me, and that'll make her feel better because she's a bad person. Yeah. So I like, or the thing is, if it backfires here, like if I backfire on her, she will be terrified, right? So I crouch down and I'm like, listen, Avella, I need your help. I'm really only doing this because I owe the nunnery my life. Yeah, a nun, she saved my life one time. I was eating some olives and I was choking on one and she gave me mouth to mouth. Anyway, so I really I don't want to be doing this whole thing. Not because I don't, enjoy your company or whatever. You and those other little witches are just great to be around. But I am this place we're going. I have heard some things about it. I don't know, maybe if you know the truth, because you're a nun and everything, but like I heard there were like teenage girls scared of boys there, like a lot of like men, like boys that there was some kind of like maybe they were gonna eat your skin, maybe, or I don't. So I just I really need your help here to make sure that the other the others don't get scared, right? I need you to be brave for them and for me, but you can't tell them that I'm scared of this skin eating cave or place. So let's see if I can convince her. So I'm obviously trying to bullshit her here. So I'm gonna roll with Shadow. I made up some story about being scared of the cave or whatever, and I bet it'll make her feel better to treat me like dog shit. Kids love being mean. Okay, so here we go. And yes, I think she's not part of. Oh, we'd established the nuns are a different community. I haven't established that identity with the nuns yet. The nuns think I'm just a mysterious stranger. I haven't been like, I am Sabine, a human fighter. So this is going to be just Shadow. And if I succeed, she is cruel to me and takes like sort of a leadership position with the other girls to prove she's not scared. Okay, here we go. On a miss, they refuse or make a demand which costs you greatly. So I'm gonna make this a success, but with so it works too well. So Avella, I think, just starts to laugh and like she's just like really just so awful about it. Like just this cruel, soul-wrenching like cackle. And she I think she walks away just being like, what a fucking idiot, and goes and like totally undermines me with the other kids. And I think this wounds me. I think I'm gonna have to endure stress. I mean, nothing is more painful than the admonishment of a self-superior teenage girl. So, well, it worked. What was her name? Avella got her confidence back, but also she said some really mean things about me. Ouch. Okay, so endure stress. I am going to suffer a damage to my spirit. Okay, and then I roll spirit. I got a weak hit. Ow. My feelings. Stupid mean girls. All right. So let's see. Test your spirit. All right. I got a weak hit, which I think just means I press on. Yeah. Ow. We still haven't made any goddamn progress on this journey. All right, here we go. Let's try it again. Let's undertake a journey. Come on, girls. Let's go. Undertake a journey. I'm never gonna make it there. Listen, if we don't make it, I'm gonna just quit. I'm just gonna be like, fuck this quest. You're on your own, girls. I'm leaving town, and I'm just gonna abandon everything. No, that's not true. Okay. All right. So we're gonna undertake a journey. And that is part of, there it is. Okay. Plus wits, which has been going great for me so far. Here we go. No! Damn it! Okay, we'll never make it. All right, so we've had a scene with Nadira. We've had a scene with Avella. How can Messias, the insensitive, oblivious, and dying, how can she slow us down? We gotta have one with each girl. Yeah, maybe Messias gets sick or something. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Have there been any successful wits rolls? I don't. We're having a really bad time right now. Okay, so let's see. Messias, we are walking along, and Messias starts doing that anime cough, that like, and I'm like, hey, you okay? What's wrong with you? And the other girls say something mean, like, oh, she's sick again, or like, oh, of course. And they like, sigh and roll their eyes and like, walk along. And I'm like, you fuckers. And I come over to her and I'm like, hey, are you okay? And she tries to wave it off, right? She's like, I'm fine. I just get sick sometimes. And of course I'm like, you're not contagious, are you? Because I don't want to. And she shakes her head and she says, no, I'm not strong on the inside. Walking sometimes. And I nod and I'm like, hey, you know what? It's A-okay. I know how it is. Do you think you can, let me take a look at you. I have dealt with these sorts of things before. Let me see if I've got any herbs in my bag. And I start digging through my bag and I'd like to treat her injuries, which is to say, just give her something that will, that'll help her, like a poultice or, you know, yeah, an energy drink or a mammoth ride or something. So let's try to take care of her. See how it goes. So Messias had to stop because she's got some kind of wasting sickness. Long journey for a sick kid. Let's see if anything in the old magic bag will help. Just find my knife and I'm like, well, stab, 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 stab. Okay. Let's find out what is going on. Let's roll plus heal. We're going to roll wits. Come on. Hey, weak hit. All right. Our care is helpful. Take -1 supply or -1 momentum. Well, I have no supply left, so it's going to be momentum. All right. So weak hit on the heal. Okay, and then roll heal, weak hit, -1 momentum. Back on the road. Okay, let's try to not miss undertake a journey. I really just need like 1 fucking progress bar on it. We've had a scene with every one of these characters. Next, we're gonna have to get attacked by a bear or some shit. Here we go. Come on, weak hit. Yeah! Yes! Yes! Oh! Praise Satan. Yeah. All right. On a strong hit, we reach the waypoint. Mark progress. Excellent. Oh, man, that's great. Okay. Let's go ahead and mark that on the journey. I think that counts towards the nuns. We've made some progress on this troublesome journey. There we go. Okie doke. Let's rest. Let's take a break here. Okay, so we undertake a journey. We get a strong hit. Mark progress, and then all right. We've left town well behind us now. And there's not much to see except the gray sky and the less gray, the gray sky and the darker gray. There we go. Rock. There's a wet wind blowing up from the sea and salt rime on everything. The girls are miserable. It's perfect. Hey, ladies. Anyone know how to set up a tent? All right. So I'm like, all right, girls, set up the camp. Let's go. You make some lunch. You start a fire. So I'm going to be like, all right, Smitty, work harder. So let's get them going. Let's get them putting camp together here. So I'm the best camp counselor. All right, roll plus supply. Now I can roll with Kudan. Kudan makes camping all kinds of fun. So Kudan is at health 5. So for me, I set up like a chair or something, right? I drag a log over and I sit down and I get Kudan to stand next to me and block the rain while the girls, damp from the rain, have to like set up the tent and light a fire. And I'm just like, good, excellent. Good work, ladies. Keep it up. So I'm going to roll with plus 5 supply, even though I only have 0 because I have Kudan. So hold on. We're not unprepared. We're at 0. So go to 5, roll plus supply. This is for the camp move. This is a strong hit. Nice. Good work, ladies, making camp. All right, make camp. Strong hit. So I'm going to take plus 1 health. I am going to heal though too. So yeah, plus 1 health. And then I get 1 more. I'm going to take +1 momentum. Okay, yeah. All right. So +1 health, +1 momentum. And then we're gonna roll, and I'm gonna get one of the girls to patch me up. Who should we have this moment with? Avella hates me, so not her. Maybe Nadira? Yeah, let's say Nadira is the one that knows how to sew. Knows how to sew, and maybe that's how we set up a big tent, and everybody's like sitting in it. We're all huddled up, and I look at Nadira, and Nadira is sewing. She's doing like needlepoint or something, and at first I'm like, is that really a camp appropriate piece of craft work? Shouldn't somebody be playing I don't know, like a tambourine or a guitar or something? Maybe whittling? Is that? No, you don't have to put it away. I'm just saying. Actually, I've got this, and I take a bandage off, and I have this like huge gouge in my arm, and it's all swollen and red, and I'm like, can you do anything about this? And she just like covers her mouth. Avella's like, oh, gross. Messias leans over and is like, ooh, that's interesting. And I'm like, do you think you could, because it's kind of itchy. I think, does it look infected to you? And Nabira is like, okay, let me look at that. So she's gonna roll. Technically I'm rolling, right? Because NPCs can't roll. So let's roll here and see how she does. We got a weak hit, -1 supply or -1 momentum, but 2 health. Oh, nice. Okay. So -1 momentum plus 2 health. So we get to talk to Nadira a little bit while she does this, right? So heal, we get a weak hit, +2 health, -1 momentum. Okay. So we're sitting and we're talking, or I'm talking probably at first, and she's just like stitching me up and wincing. And yeah, so I'm like, so you you're gonna be a nun. So that's ow, fuck. No, I mean keep going, but just watch it. You always wanted to be a nun, or? And she just shakes her head. And I'm like, so what changed your mind? You decide to be a nun, traumatic experience, or you just decide you really like bees, or ow, no, okay. And she just keeps shaking her head. And I'm like, yeah, that's all right. I didn't want to be whatever the fuck this is either. Yeah, when I was little, all I ever wanted to do was dance. Dancing was like my favorite thing in the whole world. My grandma used to come out in the rain. It'd be a storm. We lived in a valley. It rained a lot. I'd be freezing, and she'd find me out in the middle of the square, just dancing around in the rain. Said I was gonna get struck by lightning. I mean, we don't get to decide what life makes us, do we? Ow! Could you just yeah, it's a needle, I know, but all right. And I think that the conversation, quote unquote, isn't about like digging out information. It's just about kind of like lowering the stakes of the social engagement, right? It's like just letting them like all calm down a little because we're having this sort of communal moment. And I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to forge a bond with these kids, right? This is our little campfire scene. So I'm trying to forge a bond with, I guess if I have to pick one, it's Nadira for now. So let's roll and see. Okay. Nadira patched me up and we talked a little. The other girls were mostly quiet, but I could tell they were listening. All right. So let's roll. And we'll see if these angsty teens care or not. So we're making a forge bond. And this is with heart. Come on, Nabaki. Just give me a weak hit. That's all I want. Nope. On a miss, they reject you. Okay. So I probably tell like some story, and Nadira, she stops mid like stitch and she looks at me and she says, "You shouldn't lie." And I'm like, "Lie about what?" And she says, "All those things you said about growing up, having a grandma." Liar. Elves don't have parents. Elves don't have grandparents. And then Avella says, "Yeah, you were probably born in the ground. You grew out of it like a seed." And I turn and look at her, and then Messias nods, and she sings like a little fairy tale about elves coming to steal your babies away or something. And I look at Messias like, "You too? God damn." And so I stand up, and the needle and the thread are just like hanging off of my arm, and Nadia like pulls back, and I stand up and I'm like, "I'm going to check on the mammoth." And I just walk out with the thread just hanging off my arm. Yeah, and I just walk outside, and I probably just go outside and I walk over to Kudan, who looks down at me in the rain, right, big storm, and I look up and I shake my head and I'm like, too crowded in there anyway. And I sit down next to him, and he lowers down onto his knees, and I kind of like wedge myself up behind him, and he tries to shield me from the rain. And I'm sitting there, and I got my cloak pulled around my shoulders, and I like smell the air, and I look over and I'm like, "You stink, big hairy boulder." And he grumbles and kind of like settles into the mud next to me, and I just squint, but not quite close my eyes, and just like look over at the tent. And this is one of those moments where we use the palette, right? So Kudan is big and dark, like big black splotch. I am like small and like steely gray, kind of blue-green eyes highlighted in the dark. Everything else is gray and black, the rain coming down, but the tent would be this glowing yellow-orange color. And I'm clearly outside it, just like, fucking shit. Fuck you. So, yeah, night. Yeah, the sounds of faint laughter. Yeah, now that I'm gone, they can finally be like, hee hee hee, we're friends again. Yeah. Oh, so mean. Okay. Okay. So, the girls were acting shitty, so I slept out in the rain. I like the open sky better than the smell of some sweaty teenagers anyway. I kicked them. Kicked them awake. I don't know why that's not italicized. There we go. In the morning, and we set out into the mists. So, okay, so the next part of the journey, so we kind of go like, boop, beep, 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 right? We're going up here. So now I think we've left the lower basin and we've kind of come up and it's dark green now. It's funny. This is what a photography dweeb I am. I can envision if I were shooting this scene, I know what kind of film I would use because of the color that you get from it. So this would all be shot using, if I was shooting stills, it'd be shot using Fuji Xperia, I think would be the film that I would use here. So there's this chrome, this like grainy kind of like dark green, dark blue, dark gray coloration. It's starting to get more green, less gray. And then there's these massive banks of fog. And we set out into the fog, and this is where we start to have to worry about things like will-o-wisps and, you know, ghosts in the fog come to steal away teenage girls. So if we can get through the fog, we'll make it to the location. But this is me. And so what I do is I stop and I turn to Messias and I'm like, give me the lantern. And she takes it from her bag and she hands it to me and I light it and I hang it off the end of my spear and I say, follow the light, but be careful. And I look and I think, I'm like, do I want to tell them that there's going to maybe be like spirits that will mislead them or shit? And I'm just like, no. And you know what? No, we're going to buddy system this thing. All right. So you, Messias, hold Nabira's hand. Nabira, you hold Avella's hand. Avella, give me your filthy little claw. And I grab her hand and she's just like, oh God. All right, there. Don't let go. And we set out into the fog. So let's inevitably blow this roll because it's important. All right. So we reached the edge. Ooh, I'm going to make this a thing. The Sea of Fog. Yeah. Okay, check this out. So it's like a forest. Yeah, there we go. Put that on the map layer. World building. All right. Here, let's make that a little smaller. Okay. The Sea of Fog. So now, if I go to my map legend, let's just add this in. A bank of eternal shifting fog that remains settled in a valley on the dead shore. No wind or sun have ever managed to pierce this bank of strange mist. Cool. Yeah. And I imagine there's probably, like, we're in the hills, right? So the topography ascends this way, right? We know that this is all down. So we're going up country here. So this would be of elevation, right, from there. And then there's probably like this edge. Where's my fucking drawing tool? So like this edge of the Sea of Fog is probably a mountain range, right? Kind of runs like up like there. And then there's all these rivers that flow down. So we're headed up through the fog, trying to find this abandoned old church mausoleum thing. Okay, cool. It's funny how much the visualizations of this place are coming from my experiences as a kid and a teenager in like middle to northern BC, right? Like I'm thinking about the British Columbia interior is all of these colors, this like damp boreal rainforest kind of vibe. Like that's all I can think about is like a winter in the interior of BC or like late winter, early spring. Yeah. All right. So we set out into the Sea of Fog. Let's make a wits roll. to get lost inevitably in here. We reached the edge of the Sea of Fog and set in. I didn't want to scare the girls with stories of ghosts and wisps in here, but I'm sure as hell keeping my eyes open. Also, I have the new knife, so I have 2 iron weapons. Yeah. Okay, all right. Keep my eyes open. So let's roll to see how that goes. Undertake a journey. All right. Survey says. Shit. All right. All right. So, the getting lost. Let's get lost first, and then if we need another complication, then I've got some other ones. But yeah, okay. So I haven't been through the Sea of Fog in years. It's not quite what I remember. The old signs, the ways of travel through a place like this, they don't always work. I bet the dead church is messing with, what would I call it? Not magic, but because I know some like what I would consider my grandma's tricks, but they're actually little like elf rituals. Yeah, I bet the dead church is messing with my like the elder tricks or like something like that. Because my grandma would have called them tricks. Yeah. They're not rituals. She wouldn't want to scare me. Yeah. Let's say that. Messing with my tricks. I think I need to get my bearings. Okay. So I'm going to, in this case, I think what we're looking at here is undertake a journey. I missed. I'm in danger. The danger is we could get lost. So let's try. Let's just face danger here. Face danger. And I'm going to do so with expertise, insight, or observation. So it's plus wits. All right. Here we go. God, I cannot make a wits roll to save my life. All right. So I miss. So we are in active danger. This isn't right. All the wood signs are wrong here. Like the trees don't remember how to speak the language anymore. None of Granny's tricks are working. And I think the girls are starting to get scared. They're right to be, of course. I just need to try and get us out of here before... Hey, wait. Where's the stupid one? So we've lost what's her name? Macias. So she's wandered off, and I'm like, what the hell? Where's the third one? And they like shake their head, and I look at Nabira, and I'm like, you were supposed to be her buddy. You're not supposed to let go of her hand. We were just stopped so I could get my bearings. God damn it. And I like take the lantern off, and I shove it into their hands, and I'm like, come with me. And we turn, and I'm like, we have to go find her. So now we start navigating. We've got about 2 feet of light around us. It's getting dark. It's foggy. We're stumbling over the rocks. The rocks are wet. We're going up and down. There's trees and roots. We gotta go find her. So we're like shouting for her. And the girls, I think they've gone from like we don't care about this. We're not scared. And now they're shouting, right? Now they're like you can hear their voices cracking and they're afraid. And we are trying to find her. And yeah, this feels like the scene from The Witch, right? Where they're like looking for the kid. Yeah. So, let's see. If we fail this, we cannot find her. She's just gone. And it gets too dark to keep looking. Damn. Okay. All right. So, gathering information, I guess, following a track, searching an area. So again, God, people with wits are much better at this game. My wits are terrible, and that's a shame, I guess. Turns out wits is the power stat. So, all right, gather information. Obviously, she disappears. We find her later in a moment of like horror, right? This is very quickly becoming like Blair Witch. So, all right, gather information. I think edge is underused because it just is. But yeah, for me, one wits it's brutal. But you know what? I like it. I like failing. It's interesting. Keeps the game fun. All right, rolling with wits. Here we go. Hey, weak hit. We didn't totally flub this one. Yeah, I'm so proud. All right, weak hit. And that means the information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover. Take +1 momentum. Okay, here we go. So we find her, and her frock is covered in mud. She has like mud on her face and in her hair, and she's curled up at the base of a tree, and she's like shaking and muttering to herself. And I come running over. I'm like, Messias, what the hell? What, you can't run off. What's going on? Like, you can't do that. And she looks up at me, and she's got, big scared eyes. And she mutters something about like the watcher in the woods. And I'm like, what? And she's like, the watcher. I saw him. I saw him. He chased me. And I'm like, bullshit, you're crazy, get up. And I yank her up off the ground. And I look at her and I'm like, you are a mess. Whatever. Just let's press on. It's not too late. I think that way. And I turned into Beer. I'm like, you keep an eye on her. And Messias puts out a muddy hand, and Nabira looks at it like, ugh, fine, and like takes her hand, and they go. So let me add to my legend. Said to be walked by a strange creature called the Watcher in the Wood. I am that very witch. Okay. Let Watcher in the Woods be damned. Let's go. She's fine, right? Totally fine. And that's the scene, right? The scene is Nabake believes everything is okay. The younger girls are scared, but happy to have their friend back. But the camera and the soundtrack know something's not right with Messias. Let's try to continue on our little journey. So we found Messias. I think she fell, hit her head. She's talking nonsense. It's covered in mud. Stupid kids. I just want to find their dumb church. Get the hell out of here. All right, so let's see if I can have what I've always wanted. Undertake a journey. Okay. Nabake's entire life. I need to get the hell out of here. She just hates wherever she is because she's there with herself. All right, here we go. Yeah! All right, we made some progress. Undertake a journey. All right, so that means we hit make progress. And let's see. On a weak hit, -1 supply. Oh, okay. All right, I think we are out of supply then. So let's take a look at how that works. -1 supply, but progress. All right. I think tomorrow we're gonna try to complete the journey. Yeah, because we're at 6 now. So okay, all right. So that means that we can stop here and camp. I don't want to lose. Oh, I gotta go. I go down to 0 supply. So roll plus wits. Strong hit, bolter your resources. What happens when I go to 0? Does that give me the penalty, or this is a rules thing I've only run into once before. So when I am at 0 and I can't go any lower on supply, do I become unprepared? Yeah, but then when I make supply related rolls, the problem is I can't. This is what happened in that first one. I'm unprepared. And that means I'm not allowed to resupply. Right?